This is the anonymous British 19-year-old who said she'd been gang raped in Cyprus by 12 Israelis, only to end up convicted herself. Now, her mother has told a British broadcaster that the party resort of Ayia Napa is dangerous. The place isn't safe, she said. It's absolutely not safe. And if you go and report something that's happened to you, you're either laughed at, as far as I can tell, or in the worst case, something like what's happened to my daughter may happen. She's backed a campaign trending on Twitter to boycott Cyprus. The teenager was convicted on Monday of lying about the rape, angering women's rights campaigners who say the victim has been turned into the criminal. She says pressure from Cypriot police back in July made her retract her accusation against the 12 Israelis. When they arrived home at Ben Gurion Airport, some of the young men celebrated with champagne and insulting chants against the woman. After her conviction, her lawyer vowed to appeal against the decision.
The decision of the court is respected. However, we respectfully disagree with it. We believe that there have been many violations in the procedure and the rights of fair trial of our client have been violated. We are planning to appeal the decision to the Supreme Court, hoping that our client will find justice in Cyprus.
Some of the women's supporters suspect Cyprus's economic ties with Israel may have influenced the case, and they say Cyprus's legal system is corrupt. An EU report in 2018 said the country hasn't fully implemented 14 of its 16 reform recommendations. The UK Foreign Office is raising concerns with Cyprus about what's happened to the woman, but the government in Nicosia insists its courts are independent. The British woman will be sentenced on Tuesday. Rory, Challands, Al Jazeera.
Well, the woman's lawyer, Nicoletta Charalambidou, who we've just been seeing in Rory's report there, joins us live now from Nicosia. Can you start by telling us about your client's condition? Where is she right now and how is she doing?
Yes, thank you. The client obviously is not in a very good situation psychologically. She suffers from PTSD, something that was put in front of the court as well. But the expert's opinion was not accepted by the court. Obviously, it has been a very difficult period for her the last 5 to 6 months because she had to stay on bail conditions in Cyprus. Her whole life has been on a freeze for these 5 months, having to stay in this country pending the trial. So obviously, she's not in a very good condition. We try to prepare her, of course, for the outcome of the case because to be honest, we expected this outcome.
As you were saying that it's she is obviously in a very difficult situation right now. She's already been kept there for 5 to 6 months. You are planning to appeal this decision. So the next step is that it goes to the Supreme Court. But what can be done to expedite this? Because it doesn't seem like it's going to be resolved anytime soon.
Yes, this is true, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she has to stay in Cyprus on appeal. It will all depend on the sentencing that will take place on the 7th of January and the decision of the court as to what sentence is going to impose. In case the court decides to impose further imprisonment because she already spent 1 month in prison in pretrial detention, right. Then we can also request an expedition of the appeal procedure in case she's back in prison.
Can you please describe the circumstances or the sequence of events around which she changed her story? Because, of course, police in Cyprus, they've denied any wrongdoing and they say that the decision to retract the allegation was her own.
Well, it's the sequence of events. Basically, she was called again for clarifications, according to the police, for a 3rd time after 10 days of reporting the rape. She was kept in the police station for a period of almost 8 hours. The point which she stopped being considered as a victim of a crime and started being considered as a suspect for another crime is not very clear because she was initially called in for a further statement as a victim of a crime. She did not have an access to lawyer, either as a victim, because she has the right to have a lawyer as a victim as well, or as a suspect. And she claims, and this is what we support, that her statement was given under duress. And this is, of course, there is an intermediary decision of the court
So just to be clear about this, when she signed the statement retracting the rape claim, she had no access to legal advice, no access to translators, and there is absolutely no record of the conversations that she had with police officers. Is that, that's standard procedure over there?
It shouldn't be a standard procedure because according to the laws and according to, she has to have right access to a lawyer. Normally, during the investigation, they have to record down the statements given as a suspect. Even in this case, there is not any statement given as a suspect of a crime. It is not clear at which point she was cautioned about being a suspect. And therefore, this is not standard procedure, definitely not.
All right, thank you very much. Nicoletta Challands, thank you for taking the time to speak with us, the defence lawyer there for the 19-year-old teenager there in Nicosia.